Welcome, everybody, to Taylor Tuesday. This is our second week since we decided to bring this back to our members. We wanted everybody to be able to learn more about Taylor and learn more about our vendors, because I think that's what we're all here about. Is we want to educate you, we want to help improve your practices, we want you to have clinical outcomes. So welcome. Thank you for giving up your time on Tuesday evenings with your family to join your Taylor family tonight. I'm very excited about the opportunity to educate everybody on something that's near and dear to me, because I've been a wound care provider for a very long time, and I think that this is something that is going to enhance your practice. I want to tell you a little bit about Taylor before we get started. And you know, we are physician owned and operated. Jeff DeSantis, my partner, and I started this company with 157 investors in 2016. We were created by providers for providers. We try to understand, and we do have a unique understanding of the challenges in foot and ankle. We also have given back to the profession. As it stands today, Taylor Medical has given 2 complete scholarships that are endowed through APMA. Every year, 2 recipients receive a scholarship from Taylor Medical. We've grown into the largest podiatric GPO, or group purchasing organization, for podiatric physicians and surgeons. And we're here to be able to offer you anything that you need for your practice. We have 30 different vendors, and we don't charge anything to join. Taylor is more about having you as a family. We're trying to bring you value for your practice. We want to help you have better clinical outcomes. We want to help make you save some money, so that, you know, in today's time, the costs of expenses continue to go up, and guess what? The reimbursements continue to go down. So Taylor wants to help you and help you do what you're doing. You can do a free cost analysis with Taylor Medical. We have exclusive discounts. We don't charge anything to join. We also offer you an ordering platform that we offer to all of our members free of charge. It'll help you organize your practice. You can set up menus and set up things that will make your staff much more efficient. I'd like to introduce today somebody who I've gotten a chance to know over the last couple of years, Kobi Mouton. He is the founder of Zalta, and he's the inventor behind the company's hydrocapillary triple action wound care technology. His story is unique. He was a lawyer. He had a family member who suffered from chronic ulcers, and he transitioned from being a lawyer to trying to solve his grandmother's problems. And he ended up developing a product called Draw-Tex, which is standard of care in many hospitals and assisted living facilities and clinics where wounds are being treated. Kobi decided he could make something even better. And so he has developed a product called Zalta, which is a next generation product. Kobi, I'd like to turn everything over to you, and maybe you can give us a little introduction about yourself, a little bit more than what I said, and we'll go from there.
Thank you very much, Ira. My name is Kobi Mouton. I'm the founder of Zalta. As Ira mentioned, I came from law and also the computer industry, where after I transitioned into advanced wound care market in the late 1990s. I was the inventor and also co-founder of Draw-Tex. I think a product very familiar in the United States, based on the hydrocapillary hydroconductive technology. And after my exit from that, I decided to make enhancements and improvements and created the Zalta Pure wound dressing range, which is mainly profoundly used and specifically used in wound exudate management, whereby we would want to get the wound bed for wound bed preparation. So from the Draw-Tex over to the Zalta, I've been into this industry for the last 25 years and more, and with the aim of making a better product that can improve the quality of lives of people, and hence increase the wound healing rates and make it better for all the patients who suffer from these wounds.
Hobie, are you ready for me to show the little video that we have?
Yes, please, Ida, you can go ahead.
Perfect.
Introducing Zolta, the next generation in wound care. This hydrocapillary flow demonstration shows how Zolta sets a new standard as a super-absorbent, non-adherent exudate management system. The clear bottle contains water representing exudate, fluid naturally produced by a wound bed. The other contains food dye, simulating bacteria and inflammatory byproducts in wounds. These fluids allow us to visualize how Zolta functions in a real-world wound environment. Exudate management through hypocapillary flow powered by Zolta. The clear fluid is poured to simulate a moist wound bed. As we introduce the dyed fluid, we simulate the presence of bioburden, bacteria, cytokines, and enzymes. A pre-cut piece of Zolta is now applied to the fluid. Instantly, the dressing begins to sequester, disperse, and retain exudate. Zolta's hydrocapillary mechanism activates, drawing moisture rapidly across the entire dressing both horizontally and vertically. The dressing locks the exudate in place with no backward leakage. When dry fibers are introduced, such as a fresh layer of Zolta, they make immediate contact with the moisture, pulling fluid from the original layer into the next. This continuous fluid transfer is a key advantage of Zolta's multi-layered design. Moisture control using hydrocapillary fluid wicking technology powered by Zolta. As the fluid contacts the dressing, Zolta's hydrocapillary system activates immediately, drawing the exudate vertically into the internal matrix. The bacteria-simulating dye is visibly carried along with it, showing how Zolta absorbs and distributes fluid without delay. Zolta locks in the fluid and sequesters bacteria within its fiber. This prevents backflow and creates a moist, stable wound environment conducive to healing without maceration. Watch as a second dry Zolta layer is introduced. Fluid and dye are horizontally transferred into adjacent dressing through hydrocapillary action. This demonstrates Zolta's omnidirectional dispersion, enabling coverage over complex wound geometries. Function is not depleted after the first use as newt exudate is produced and dry fiber remains. Absorption continues. Even minimal contact, like a single corner, is enough to initiate transfer. No need for chemicals or active pressure. This is the new hydrocapillary standard in wound care, reducing bacterial load through natural fiber powered by Zolta technology. Zolta's ability to wick fluid to circumvent obstructions. In this demonstration, we've removed the center of the dressing to simulate an obstruction, whether from a cavity, a tunnelling wound, or a gap in coverage. As we introduce fluid to the wound bed, you'll notice how Zolta's hydrocapillary mechanism redirects the exudate, pulling it around the missing section instead of pulling at the site of disruption. This response is driven by Zolta's omnidirectional dispersion, but around voids and anatomical irregularities where traditional dressings fail, leaving moisture trapped or stagnant near hard-to-dress areas. Zolta responds dynamically. The cutout section creates a break in continuity, but the surrounding fibers remain active. You can see the fluid traveling around the obstruction, continuing its path through the interconnected dressing layers. This is a key differentiator. Zolta doesn't require direct contact with every wound surface to remain effective. Instead, its proprietary blend of natural fibers coordinates fluid transfers across all connected areas. Even with disrupted geometry, the dressing retains fluid, sequesters bacteria, and manages moisture, safeguarding the wound environment. This performance makes Zolta ideal for challenging wounds such as undermining, tunneling, or partial exposure sites where coverage is incomplete or inconsistent. Bioburden relief by assisting autolytic debridement in optimal wound bed preparation. Zolta's lift, lock and hold rapid fluid absorption and retention against gravity. Dye is directly applied to the non-adherent layer of the base dressing, demonstrating that Zolta absorbs effectively from either side. A single pre-cut piece of Zolta is then placed upright, standing vertically on top of the flat dressing. As additional fluid is added to the lower layer, Zolta's hydrocapillary action activates, tearing the exudate and dye upward into the vertical piece. This clearly demonstrates Zolta's ability to wick fluid vertically against gravity, ensuring continuous absorption even in layered or irregular applications. Whether flat or standing, the dressing remains fully functional, maintaining fluid control and bacterial sequestration omnidirectionally through every layer. Omnidirectional dispersion of fluid using hydrocapillary fibers powered by Zolta technology. Here, fluid is applied directly to the non-adherent surface found on both sides of the dressing. No side is the wrong side when applying Zalta. The fluid is rapidly absorbed, unobstructed by the non-stick interface. Exudate and bacteria are evenly dispersed omnidirectionally through the proprietary Zalta fibers. Zalta's signature stacking protocol for extended wear and increased moisture retention capacity. This demonstration shows how Zalta absorbs fluid not only horizontally, but also vertically against gravity. We begin by applying fluid to the center of the dressing. The hydrocapillary action pulls the fluid evenly in all directions, dispersing it across the entire dressing in others that are in contact. If exudate exceeds expectations, pooling can lead to maceration or overgranulation. That's why we always recommend using at least 2 layers when possible. In this case, the top layer draws fluid upward from the saturated layer below, expanding capacity while maintaining a balanced moisture environment. This also enables Zalta to transfer bacteria upward, reducing bioburden across multiple layers. As exudate is secreted, the fluid moves through to the upper dressings without pressure or compression. This capability is ideal for hard-to-dress wounds such as venous leg ulcers, where fluid must be wicked away from delicate or eroded wound beds. Zalta's hydrocapillary flow ensures consistent fluid movement, omnidirectional dispersion, and continuous bacteria sequestration, all without chemicals or medication. The result? Effective exudate management and moisture regulation. Zalta can be used to fill cavities and tunneling wounds with creative customization. In deep or irregular wounds, Zalta is cut to fit and placed directly into the wound where it draws debris and bacteria out from within the cavity using hydrocapillary flow and electrostatic charge. As fluid is introduced, it is absorbed by the base and pulled up through the dressing. Bacteria are attracted to Zalta's positively charged fibers and locked into the matrix. Zalta continuously clears the wound cavity, reducing bioburden and restoring balance, supporting a cleaner wound bed through natural healing processes. Zalta's unique composition of natural fibers also allows the material to hold a positive electrostatic charge, attracting bacteria which are mostly negatively charged. Zalta addresses deep wound cavities to its hydrocapillary action, electrostatic charge, and proteolytic enzyme balance by drawing negatively charged bacteria out from the deeper tissue to the surface of the wound bed. As exudate and bacteria are produced in the cavity, Zalta rapidly wicks it into the dressing. Bacteria, cytokines, and enzymes are electrostatically attracted from the deeper tissue and locked within the fiber matrix. This prevents further proliferation and contamination, restoring balance. The die in this demonstration shows how fluid is pulled upward, diluting the bioburden through hydrocapillary action. Regular dressing changes every 1 to 3 days maintain this cleansing cycle and reduce bioburden, giving the wound bed a stable environment to heal.
Obi, that was a great demonstration about Zalta. What I'd like to do is open it up to question and answers. I'd like for people to put any questions that they have in the chat box. I actually have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask Kobe just to kind of get it started while people are putting some questions in the chat box. Who are the competitors of Zalta and what could it replace in the market? It seems like it's pretty unique.
The main competitor that can compete directly with Zalta is mainly Draw-Tex, hydrocapillary dressings, hydroconductive dressings. All other dressings compete indirectly with Zalta due to the fact of the manufacturing process as well as the raw materials. The Zalta is a proprietary blend of viscose and polyester, and the way that it's manufactured makes it so unique and gives it that ability to absorb 9 times its own weight, and where it can do it horizontally and vertically, as you could see in the demonstration. So Zalta can effectively replace all other products that it competes directly against. And as mentioned, the only real competitor directly is Draw-Tex, because the Zalta can remove all the debris, which is the bacteria, the cytokines, the MMPs, effectively just as good or better than most of the other products.
Kobe, can Zolta be used in conjunction with other wound care modalities, whether it's collagen powder, whether it's a calcium alginate, whether it's a skin substitute, wound vacs? What other instances could Zolta be used in?
Zolta can be used under compression, which can even enhance the wound healing rates. Zolta is great in conjunction with the collagen. And obviously, Zolta can be used as a primary dressing as well as a secondary dressing. With the primary, it comes standard with non-adherent layers on both sides of the dressings, whereby no additional non-contact layer is required. It comes incorporated into the dressing.
Okay. You know, I'm seeing some questions start to come in now, and obviously, probably one of the biggest questions that physicians have when utilizing any type of products, because this is considered a DME product. Is there reimbursement associated with this, Kobe?
That's correct, Ira. The reimbursement is under the A codes, similar to an alginate, under the A6196 and A6197 codes, similar to an alginate.
Perfect. And just for everybody else to know, since part of what Taylor does is we try to help educate you on doing different things. When you have this Zolta and you want to dispense it, you can dispense it like any surgical dressing, as Kobe said, with the A codes. The only time that you wouldn't expense it is if you kept it in the office and you wanted to use it for your dressing changes. I can tell you that if Zolta was around when I was practicing, this would have been in my drawer to put on every single wound, but that's just a personal thing. Kobe, are there any contraindications where Zolta can't be used?
Ira, the only contraindication is obviously you cannot put near any arterial bleeding. Other than that, you can use it on any wound indication, very good on burns, venous leg ulcers, diabetic foot, non-healing wounds, any wound that is infected, chronic or acute, with a lot of bioburden, body fluid, it will work perfectly.
Great. On the non-adherent layer, does it restrict any of the absorption? I mean, is it going to be able to absorb regardless of where it's put on the wound?
Yeah, Ira, there's no restriction whatsoever. The minute you would put a drop on the Zolta, it will dissipate immediately. So there's no interference from the non-adherent layer. It's got thousands of little funnels, and the minute there's body contact, it will absorb it through the non-adherent layer into the core structure of the Zolta wound dressing, whereby it will lift it, hold it, and levitate it across the whole dressing horizontally and vertically.
So, Kobe, I know that one of the questions that I've got asked is the pliability or the moldability of Zolta. Obviously, the foot can somehow have a lot of contours, and sometimes there are bony areas. I know that if you put it on like a venous leg wound or something that's really flat, it's probably very easy. But how about using it on wounds on the heel or in the forefoot? Is Zolta pliable? Is it going to mold to the different contours of the foot?
Definitely, Ira, it's very moldable and pliable, and it will conform to the contours of the wound or the leg. You'd get the three versions, the max and the super. The max is 340 grams, also absorbing 9 times its own weight. The mechanism of action is identical to the super, which is 640 grams. So the fact that there's a weight difference, it only means that the max is softer, more conforming, and that it will be a lot of patient comfort with you when you apply it, as well as you remove it. And the same will apply for the super. That's got double the storage capacity, but both of them are soft and very easy to conform. And obviously, the minute there is some body fluid into the dressing, it becomes even more moldable and pliable, and it became even more softer.
Great. Kobe, I've got one last question here that somebody posted. Does Zolta come in different sizes? I mean, I'm looking here at the slide, and it talks about the 4x4s, but does Zolta come in different sizes depending on where the wounds are and the size of the wound?
Correct, Delta, Ira, you get it for the 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 6x8, and 8x8. And for the larger wounds where you need to wrap it, like a leg ulcer, you get it in a 4x39 and also in the 8 and 39 inches, which will give it a lot of additional storage capacity, especially on wound ulcers.
That's awesome. It sounds like there's a lot of flexibility with this product, and it sounds like there are a lot of applications that the product could be used in. I don't have any new additional questions, Kobe. Are there any closing comments that you would like to make about Zolta for the attendees?
So the most significant is the fact that we can assist in getting the wound to full wound bed preparation within a very rapid period of time. And we all know once you reach the wound bed prep phase, whereby the body will take over and the body will assist in the healing itself. And the fact that the product comes with the non-adherent layers on both sides, it's a big cost saving, and it is really non-adherent to the wound bed, which gives the patient a lot of comfort with the application as well as the removal thereof.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on your Tuesday away from your family. As I said, our goal here with Taylor Medical is to introduce new products to your practice. We want to teach you how to use these products. We want you to learn how to use them so that you can get better patient outcomes for your patients. Taylor doesn't charge anything for their membership. We'll do a free cost analysis to let you know if you're could be saving more money. So if you're not utilizing Taylor to its fullest capabilities, we'd love for you to reach out to us and send in information for a cost analysis, or call one of our sales team to see if they can do an evaluation of your product. Next week, we're very excited. We're going to have Taylor Tuesday, not next week, I'm sorry, next month, on November 11th. It's going to be about Vista DME, which is a full service management solution for DME providers and their wound care program. It's going to source excellent products, but it's also going to show you how to manage it. You know, surgical dressings are the most highly audited area in medicine right now. And I think that if you look at the data that's available, it'll show you that almost 35 to 40% of surgical dressings are being audited and billed incorrectly. With the use of Vista DME in the platform, this will help make utilizing surgical dressings for your patients to achieve best clinical outcomes much easier and accountable. So we're looking forward to having you join us on November 11th at 8 p.m. to see Vista DME's platform and learn how you could implement surgical dressings into your platform. Again, if you want to contact us, this is my personal cell number and my personal email address. I answer both. I'm willing to help you out in any way that we can. Taylor is a team. We're cultivating a family culture here, and we really hope that you have enjoyed learning about Zolta today. If you have any questions about Zolta, please reach out to our sales team, and we'll put you directly in touch with Kobe to answer any further questions, as well as Zolta's sales team. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week.